If you ever wanted to actually see the inside of a homeschool reading curriculum before buying it, this video is for you. Logica English is one of those programs that people talk about all the time, but you rarely get a chance to actually get a flip through of the book. And today, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now, before we jump in, if you haven't watched my Logica English Makeable video where I talk about how we use the curriculum, how we save time and save money, especially with the online supplement, I highly recommend watching that one right after this one. I'll have it linked on the screen, in the cards, and in the description box below. Now, I'm going to try to move very quickly through the book because I am starting a new series on this channel called Flip Through Fridays, where I show you the meat and bones of different homeschooling curriculums that I purchased. One of the hardest parts of homeschooling, especially as a first-time homeschooling parent, is just not really knowing what you're really buying. Curriculum is just expensive, and unlike a bookstore or a library, you just can't flip through it before purchasing. So I actually used to work at a bookstore when I was younger, and I just loved being able to browse through the book before committing. And that's what I really want these videos to feel like. Now, during the flip through, I will try to not do too much talking, so my review and my thoughts will be at the end, and I will include timestamps so you can jump straight to that if you want. I'm going to do a quick flip through of the Logica English Foundations Level B Teacher's Manual so you can get a feel of how the book is laid out and what's exactly inside. I'm not going to stop on every single page, but I do want to show you the structure and the most important sections so you can decide if this curriculum will be a good fit for your homeschool. At the beginning of the book, you will see a scope and sequence. This gives you a full overview of what is covered throughout the level, including phonemic awareness, phonograms, handwriting, spelling analysis, and reading practice. I really appreciate this because you can see the progression laid out clearly from start to finish. Next, there are several pages that go over important foundational information, especially if you are new to Logica English. After that, you will find a section that lists the high frequency words covered in Level B, followed by the phonogram chart. This is one of the most important parts of the curriculum. Instead of only teaching short and long vowel sounds, Logica English teaches all of the common sounds for each letter and multi-letter phonograms. There's also a materials list that shows you what's needed for each lesson. I love this because you don't have to flip to every individual lesson to know what to prepare. You'll also see Common Core alignment information and a Before You Begin section that explains how to use the curriculum effectively. This is Level B specifically, but Level A has a similar setup. Now I'm going to flip to Lesson 41, which is a great example of how each lesson is structured. At the top of the lesson page, you will see a large green objectives box. This clearly outlines what your child will work on during the lesson, such as phonemic awareness, vowel sounds, the phonograms, handwriting, spelling words, and the materials needed. Where it mentions items like the Logica English whiteboard, that is referring to their branded handwriting board. The phonemic awareness section is fully scripted. It tells you exactly what to say and how to guide your child step by step, which is one of the biggest strengths of the Logica English. You'll also see an ABC song portion of the lesson. Right next to it is a small green call out bubble that says something like 41.1 phonogram desk chart, page 1. That page number refers to the student workbook. Anytime you see those green call out boxes, they are directing you to the corresponding page in the student workbook. Next is the handwriting section. There's a teacher's tip followed by clear instructions for forming the letter. In this lesson, it's uppercase S. Again, the green call-out box points you to the handwriting page in the student workbook. The student workbook includes multiple line sizes, so the children can practice on whatever size works best for them. The teacher's manual also shows both manuscript and cursive handwriting side by side. This means you can revisit the same lessons later if you want to introduce cursive without needing a separate guide. After handwriting, the lesson moves into the phonogram instruction. There is also a phonogram practice game like Phonogram Tic-Tac-Toe, which is located in the student workbook. Next comes the spelling analysis portion. This is one of the most detailed sections of the lesson. The teacher's manual shows you exactly how to analyze each spelling word, including where to underline, mark phonograms, and break words apart. This part is extremely helpful if you are teaching without the online supplement. Following spelling analysis is the reading practice, where students match words to pictures or practice reading words and phrases. Teacher's tips are included throughout this section as well. Toward the end of the unit, you will find assessments. These review the same concepts your child has already been practicing, including phonograms, spelling, reading, and handwriting. And there are also additional practice ideas and optional games included. Now I'm going to let the rest of the pages speak for themselves here so you can really see how everything is laid out. Overall, this teacher's manual is very thorough and clearly is laid out. It gives you everything you need to teach each lesson step by step, especially if you prefer a fully offline approach. All right, now that you've seen the layout of the book, here is my review after completing Foundations Level B with my daughter. Now, first, the phonograms were a complete game changer for us. I never learned phonograms growing up, like ever. So as a first-time homeschooling mom, this entire world of like the multi-letter phonograms and the multiple sounds per letter was just brand new to me. And Logica English breaks this down in a very like systematic, rule-based way. And it honestly opened my eyes to how much just goes into strong decoding and spelling. What really stood out to me is that the logic of English doesn't just teach what a word says, it teaches why words work the way that they do. The rules really matter here and they explain them very clearly. So for example, learning rules like why English words typically do not end in I, U, V, or J. Those kind of things suddenly made spelling and reading just make sense instead of feeling random. Now, I do want to be honest. Some of the phonograms in level B, especially toward the end, to me, they got really hard for the both of us. So there are phonograms with like 5 or 6 different sounds, and baby, if it was not for the online supplement, we would have absolutely messed those up. So hearing the author, Denise, clearly pronounce each sound slowly and repeatedly, plus the accompanying songs just really saved me. Each level also has a songbook. So with level A, they use the Doodling Dragons, and with level B, they use the Whistling Whales. Now, these songs are extremely helpful when you're stuck thinking, I don't know how to say this phonogram. If you are using the physical books only, you may need to probably purchase the songbooks separately, but the songs were already included in the online supplement, which was another reason that I preferred to actually take that route as opposed to the physical book. Now, spelling became one of the most important parts of this curriculum for us, and it goes hand in hand with the spelling analysis and the letter tiles. Because my daughter wasn't a strong writer when we started, we used the physical letter tiles or the game tiles. I added small magnets to the back of them and used them on a magnetic whiteboard. Instead of pulling out each and every tile, which would have just been overwhelming, I only pulled the letters needed for that lesson's spelling words. And that process of breaking words down and marking the sounds and understanding why each sound belonged where it did was just incredibly powerful. It strengthened her decoding skills in a way that I just was not expecting in a particular type of curriculum. And if your child is already a confident writer, writing the spelling words may actually be better and faster, but for us, the letter tiles made spelling click, and it just made it a lot easier for her and less frustrating at the time. Another thing that I appreciated about level B is that handwriting continues. So this time it's focusing on the uppercase manuscript. Logica English includes both the manuscript and cursive options directly in the teacher's manual, which I love. And even though my daughter does not write in cursive yet, I still show her both versions of it. because it really helped her recognize cursive naturally. And we'll formally introduce that later, probably around the second or third grade. The teacher's manual itself, to me, is well constructed. It's not bulky, it's not overwhelming, and the lessons are clearly scripted, which is huge for a new homeschooling parent. It feels like the curriculum is working with you, not against you. The Logica English also offers student workbooks and readers. So if you are starting from ground zero, I highly recommend their readers. They are a great addition. And in our case, we actually did not use them because my daughter was already working through another language arts program that had already included readers. And I had already purchased first, second, and third grade level readers previously. So using them would have just been redundant for us. But if you're starting fresh, the readers are absolutely worth considering. One thing that I want to clarify, I did not purchase the physical level A book initially because my daughter had placed above it and already knew how to pretty much read. However, after spending some time in the Logica English communities, I learned that even if your child places higher, it's still recommended to fast track level A to make sure that all phonograms are completely solid. That's exactly what we did. We used the online supplement for level A, and I did purchase the level A student workbook because she was still learning handwriting at that time. If you're coming from a program like All About Reading and have already covered phonograms thoroughly, you may be able to move faster, but if not, level A is still important. Overall, Logica English Foundations Level B has been phenomenal for us. It really strengthened her reading, her spelling, and phonics in a way that just felt intentional and confidence building for both me and my child. So if you want to check out Logica English, my affiliate link is in the description box below. It's no extra cost to you and it helps support this channel. And if you want to see what's inside Foundations Level C, that flip through is coming next as a part of my Flip Through Fridays. If it's already uploaded, it'll be linked here. And if not, just make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss it. Let me know in the comments what curriculum you want to see flip through next, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.